It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we have a version of Teri's Chocolate Orange Stout. It's a chocolate orange brownie stout called Not Teri's, and it's brewed by Off Axis Brewing Company, and it's coming in at 5% ABV. Isn't that interesting? 440 millilitre can. I picked this one up in Home Bargains. It was £1.40 for the can. It looks really interesting. And as we're heading towards those dark winter months, I wouldn't be surprised if you're in your local supermarket in the near future and you start to see Teri's chocolate oranges. It's a great time to launch a chocolate orange brownie stout in Home Bargains, isn't it? Right, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. I'm quite excited by this one. What I like in beer is I like good brewing. I like the fact that a brewery can brew really good beer. But if done right, I also like marketing. I think, of course, we all know, we all watch the television, don't we? The Champions League with Amstel. Marketing is a massive tool, a massively important tool to have when you're trying to sell anything really, whether it's a beer, whether it's a pack of cigarettes, whether it's a chocolate bar. Marketing is so important these days. Some of these brewers, they have no marketing budget whatsoever. But how they get over that is by making a cleverly named beer. This is a cleverly named beer. But before the head, I can hear the head dissipating in my ear. Before it dissipates too far, it was a one-finger tan-coloured head. It's a jet blackish beer in the glass. Yeah, but I mean, if you've got somebody clever in your brewing team who's able to come up with rather clever names like this, then it goes a long way to selling your beer. It really does. You imagine putting this beer out in keg to craft beer bars in the month of October or November. That's going to sell like hotcakes. And December, of course. That beer is going to sell like hotcakes just by that name alone. They couldn't go anywhere near it looking like a Teri's Chocolate Orange, because Teri's Chocolate Orange would be down on them like a ton of bricks and the beer wouldn't be on sale anymore. But they could put an orange with an eye on and a bit of chocolate cake and they can call it Not Teri's. And it's Teri with one R and an I and a hyphen or an S. Is it a hyphen? I'm not very good with those little weird things that go on in the English language. Is that a hyphen there or I don't know. I don't particularly care either. Aroma on the beer. It smells like a stout that has a load of... It smells like an orange cream chocolate. Do they still do those things? They generally come in the Quality Street boxes. An orange cream. It's always the one you go, oh God, there's nothing left in the Quality Street box. I'm gonna have to eat these blooming orange things now. Or the strawberry ones as well. I never liked the strawberry ones. They're awful. But there's a little bit of roasted malt coming through. There's a little bit of that. There's lots of orange. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. whoa, 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 whoa. It's got that hairspray thing going on. Oh, whoa. This is one of those unfortunate cases where, and this is where home bargains come in. Somebody has a really bright idea. They go, I know what I'm going to do. Somebody at Off-Axis Brewing Company have gone, we're going to brew a Teri's Chocolate Orange Stout and we're going to call it something else and we're going to make it sound slightly like Teri's and it's going to be brilliant. And they brewed a ton of it and it's turned out like this. And they've gone, oh my goodness me, what are we going to do with all of this beer? It's thin. It's one of those beers, unfortunately, that, you know, when you spray, I've never really, I've done it once as a kid. You spray in your hair. I used to try and flick my hair up in a style that would attract the women, or back in the day, the girls. And I used to kind of do this kind of flicky thing with my hair. And I would flick it and then put some hairspray in my hair because it was cheap. Hairspray was always cheap. And then, as you're a man, women never do this because they're too, they know what they're doing. But us men, like, we spray our faces with hairspray. We just go and you've got your hair, but you've also got your eyebrows, you've got your nose, you've got your chin, and inevitably the hairspray's gone up your nose and in your mouth. That's exactly what this beer tastes like. It tastes like you've sprayed your face with hairspray. It's really chemically. It's got a real awful chemical kind of, and that's, unfortunately, that's that fake orange flavour that they chose to use in the beer. It's a real shame because there's inklings of roasted malt, there's inklings of chocolate in there. It's not far wrong. It just needs tweaking. What this brewer needs to do, if they ever choose to brew this beer again, is to whack a load of oats. Whack a load of oats in this beer. Get it nice and rich and creamy for a start. It's way too thin for a stout. I mentioned it earlier. I could feel it hissing away in my ear, and as it was hissing away, I knew the head was just going, the head was dissipating too quickly. If you add a load of oats to the beer, you're not going to have that dissipation. It's not going to go like opening a bottle of blooming Coke. It's not going to do that if you add a ton of oats. Also, what the brewer should be doing is adding lots more roasted malt. This is just synthetic chocolate, which I quite like synthetic chocolate. I quite like opening a tub of hot chocolate and getting my nose in there. It smells rather nice. But it needs more than that. It needs some roasted malt. That will then carry that awful orange synthetic taste. I understand from speaking to brewers that one of the hardest things to replicate is strawberry and orange. If you could squeeze 1 million oranges into this beer, it would cost an absolute fortune and you wouldn't get the same result as using concentrated orange purees or ice cream concentrates. You just won't get that same job. But to get over it tasting so hairspray, yes, you want that orange in the aroma, you do. Because when you open a Teri's Chocolate Orange, that's what you're greeted to. You're greeted to that lovely orange aroma as you pull open that Teri's Chocolate Orange and smash it against your forehead. But with this, it needs more roasted malt. It needs more oats. It needs other stuff to slightly mask over that awful, awful synthetic orange taste. Way too thin, way too thin. It's drinking like a lager. It's as thin as a lager. I won't be drinking any more of that, unfortunately. I'd actually prefer Home Bargain's own cheeky Choco Stout to that, to be honest with you. That's not a bad beer. If you're standing in the aisle looking at this, like some people do, if you're standing in the aisle looking at this, or Home Bargain's own made Cheeky Choco Stout, pick up the Cheeky Choco Stout. It's a far better beer. A zesty orange peel water flow flows from the can into a dark, thick, it's not thick, whirlpool of vanilla and chocolate, separating the light from the dark to reveal a full-bodied, it's not full-bodied, dessert stout as sweet as it is delicious. The hops, a jester. So they're talking the talk, this brewery. They're talking thick and they're talking full-bodied. So they obviously know how to brew a stout. So why are they not? Why have they chosen? Why have they, like, I've never had a beer from Off Axis Brewing Company. Am I ever likely to want to buy one of their beers again if I see it in a tap room? Not on this evidence. I'm going to steer clear. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Although you're putting your name around the whole of the UK, you're not putting your name out there in a very good light. You're putting your name out there and you're making people like me go, if I ever see their beers in a tap room, I'm going to steer clear of it. It's very unfortunate. It's a 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Not very good at all. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.